Most people spend their lives waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time, waiting for a sign. But time waits for no one. 6 months from now, your life could look completely different or exactly the same. The difference isn't luck. It's what you decide to do right now. Transformation always begins with clarity, not with talent, not with luck, not even with motivation, but with knowing exactly what you want. If you don't have a clear destination, how can you expect to arrive anywhere meaningful? That's the trap most people fall into. They wake up, they go to work, they handle problems, they scroll through their phones, and before they know it, 6 months have passed. And nothing has really changed. Why? Because they never took the time to define what change actually looks like for them. Most people are experts at describing what they don't want. I hate my job, I'm tired of being broke, I'm sick of feeling stuck. But when you ask them, okay, then what do you want? They pause. They stumble. They mumble something vague like, I just want to be happy. That's not clarity, that's a wish. Vague desires produce vague results. Life responds to intention, not confusion. If you're not specific with what you want, don't be surprised when the world gives you scraps. But when you become crystal clear, when you define your vision with precision, everything changes. The world starts rearranging itself around your focus. People show up, opportunities open up, energy multiplies. The fog lifts. Why? Because clarity creates direction and direction creates momentum. Without it, you're just spinning in circles. Think about it. If you're driving without a GPS, every turn feels like a guess. But the moment you enter the exact address, everything becomes purposeful. It's the same with your life. Write down what your ideal life looks like 6 months from now. Be detailed, be bold. Don't write, I want success. Write, I want to increase my monthly income by 30%, launch my side business, lose 10 pounds, read 6 books, and move into a better apartment. The clearer you are, the easier it becomes to reverse engineer the steps needed to get there. And then, the clarity is power because it eliminates distractions. When you know what you want, you stop chasing what you don't. You stop saying yes to everything. You stop getting pulled into things that feel urgent but aren't truly important. You start filtering your decisions through a powerful lens. Does this move me closer to my goal? If not, it's a no. Simple. That level of focus creates discipline without forcing it. You don't have to struggle with motivation when your vision pulls you forward. That's the power of clarity. It magnetizes your behavior, sharpens your choices, and ignites your actions. It becomes your internal compass. Tonight, take the time to get brutally honest with yourself. Sit in silence. Reflect, write it down. Don't just say what you want, define it in full color, see it, feel it, own it. The next 6 months of your life depend on the clarity you create today, because without clarity you'll keep drifting, and drifting is the enemy of destiny. But with clarity you don't just move, you move with purpose. And when you move with purpose, nothing can stop you. Your environment shapes everything. It either fuels your future or feeds your fears. Whether you realize it or not, the space around you is silently influencing your habits, your mindset, your energy, and even your belief in what's possible. That's why if you truly want to transform your life in the next 6 months, you must become intentional about your environment. You can't build a new life while standing in the ruins of your old one, but start by cleaning your physical space. Your surroundings reflect your standards. A cluttered room often reflects a cluttered mind. So pick up the clothes, organize your desk, and throw away what no longer serves you. Because every time you walk into a space that's clean, orderly, and purposeful, you're sending a signal to your brain that you're serious about growth. But it doesn't stop there. Your environment is more than just what you see, it's who you allow around you. Some people pour into you, others drain you. Some encourage your dreams, others mock them. Some challenge you to rise higher, others keep you small because your growth threatens their comfort. Over the next 6 months you need to make decisions, hard ones. You need to limit time with the people who pull you back into old patterns, even if they're family, even if they've been around forever. Love them from a distance, but protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Energy is contagious, and the people you surround yourself with are either feeding your fire or pouring water on it. So choose wisely. Find voices that speak life into your vision. Surround yourself with those who dream big, act bold, and live intentionally. Because when you're in the right environment, greatness becomes the standard, not the exception. And don't ignore the mental environment either. What are you feeding your mind daily? Are you constantly scrolling, comparing, consuming noise? Or are you reading books, listening to powerful mentors, and immersing yourself in knowledge that elevates you? What enters your mind shapes your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your life. So guard your mind as fiercely as you guard your time. There's also your emotional environment, how you speak to yourself, how you handle setbacks, how you respond when things don't go your way. Is your inner dialogue pushing you forward or keeping you stuck? Are you mentally rehearsing past failures or visualizing future victories? Over the next 6 months, you must build an environment that reflects the future you're walking into, not the past you're trying to escape. Design your world so it mirrors your next level. Because when your space, your circle, and your spirit all align with your vision, something powerful happens. You accelerate, you focus deeper, you move smarter, you rise faster. Your environment sets the tone for your evolution, and you can't afford to grow in a space that constantly pulls you backwards. So take inventory, adjust the atmosphere. Because when you change your environment, you give yourself permission to change your life. Success isn't found in some grand moment. It's built in the quiet hours, in the little things you do when no one is watching. Most people are waiting for a breakthrough, the big opportunity, the big shift, the big decision. But the truth is, the most powerful changes don't come in a flash. They come slowly, steadily, through the small, consistent actions you take every single day. You don't need to flip your entire life upside down overnight. You just need to start doing the little things that push you forward, and do them repeatedly. Read 10 pages of a good book each day. That doesn't sound like much, does it? But over 6 months, that's more than 1,800 pages, the equivalent of 6 or 7 life-changing books. Waking up just 1 hour earlier each day might not feel like a revolution, but in 6 months, that adds up to 180 extra hours. That's over 4 40-hour work weeks of time most people just sleep away. Imagine what you could build with that time. A business, a healthier body, a better version of yourself. The people who transform their lives don't do it by making one giant leap. They do it by stacking small wins day after day until those wins become habits and those habits become identity. That's the power most people overlook. They want intensity, not consistency. They chase motivation instead of mastering discipline. But success doesn't reward bursts of energy, it rewards sustained effort. 1% better each day may sound small, almost too small to matter, but compound growth doesn't lie. 1% a day adds up to more than 180% improvement over 6 months. That's not magic. That's math. It's the silent, invisible momentum that builds when you choose progress over perfection. And here's the truth. You won't always feel like doing the right thing. You won't always be inspired. But those who succeed don't wait to feel ready. They act anyway. They trust the process, and they understand that their future is being written in the small choices they make daily. So stop underestimating what 1 hour, 1 page, 1 workout, 1 call, or 1 decision can do. Stop thinking it doesn't count unless it's dramatic. The little things become the big things when done with consistency and purpose. You're not building habits, you're building a lifestyle, a new mindset, a new rhythm for your life that makes growth inevitable. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be committed. Committed to showing up even when it's hard. Committed to doing the next right thing even if it's small. Because 6 months from now, you won't remember every little action you took, but you will feel the result of having taken them. Your life will look different, not because of one big move, but because you honored the power of small daily actions. And that right there is how massive results are born. Your life will always follow the standard you set for it. Not the dreams you talk about, not the goals you write down once, but the standards you live by daily. If you accept average, you will continue to receive average. If you allow excuses, you will keep living beneath your potential. The truth is, life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you demand of yourself. The moment you raise your standards, everything starts to shift. Not instantly, not magically, but decisively. You start walking differently, speaking differently, choosing differently. And over time, that difference becomes a new reality. Most people don't need more motivation, they need higher standards. Because when your standards go up, your behavior must rise to match them. You no longer tolerate late mornings, junk food, toxic relationships, or wasted time. You begin to say, I don't live like this anymore. And that decision alone can redirect your entire life. We all have invisible rules we live by. Some are empowering. I don't give up easily. I always show up. I value my health. Others are limiting. I'm not good with money. I always mess up. This is just who I am. These rules are your standards, whether you recognize them or not. They quietly guide your actions, shape your identity, and determine your results. If you want to change your life, you have to change your standards. Raise them so high that the old version of you feels uncomfortable living in the new space. Stop saying, "It's fine," when deep down you know it's not. Stop settling for relationships that drain you, jobs that bore you, habits that break you, and conversations that keep you small. Decide what is no longer acceptable and draw a line in the sand. 6 months of living by elevated standards can completely transform your life. Imagine demanding more from your mornings, waking up with purpose, not snoozing through potential. Imagine demanding more from your relationships, no more emotional crumbs, only deep, meaningful connections. Imagine demanding more from your work, showing up as if everything you do is a reflection of your future, because it is. When you stop playing small and start holding yourself to a higher level of accountability, the world around you starts rising too. People treat you differently when you carry yourself with discipline. Opportunities find you when you act like you're already walking in purpose. Standards aren't about perfection, they are about identity. Who are you becoming? And what are you no longer willing to tolerate on that path? Your standards are the foundation of your transformation. They are the silent agreements you make with yourself every single day. And here's the secret: the fastest way to upgrade your life is to upgrade those agreements. If you want a better body, set higher standards for what you eat and how you move. If you want better finances, set better standards for how you spend and what you earn. If you want a powerful life, you must become a powerful person, and powerful people never settle. They rise, and so can you. Time doesn't wait. 6 months will pass whether you take action or not. And the only difference between who you are today and who you'll be then is what you decide to do right now. Life doesn't pause until you feel ready. It doesn't stop until you have a perfect plan. It keeps moving. So the real question isn't when you should start, it's whether you will. Every single day you delay, you're not standing still, you're falling behind. Because while you're hesitating, someone else is taking the steps you're still thinking about. Someone else is starting the business, writing the book, going to the gym, waking up early, making the call. And 6 months from now, they'll have a story of action, while you might be stuck with the story of hesitation. That's the brutal truth most people don't want to face. Success loves speed, not reckless speed, but courageous speed. The kind of speed that says, I may not know everything, but I'm willing to take the first step. The kind of boldness that refuses to sit on the sidelines waiting for permission, waiting for the stars to align, waiting to feel ready. If you're serious about transformation, the waiting game must end today. Decisiveness is a superpower. Every powerful person you admire, every success story you've heard is rooted in a single defining trait. They took action before they had all the answers. They moved while others hesitated. They understood that clarity doesn't always come before action. Sometimes it's created through action. The path reveals itself when you start walking. Momentum doesn't come from planning. It comes from moving, from doing, from stepping into the arena of your life and saying, let's go. And here's the secret. Don't need to take massive action right now. You just need to take a real step. One that moves you forward, even slightly. Call a mentor, sign up for the course, clean the room, make the list, take the walk. Say no to the thing that no longer aligns. Say yes to the opportunity you've been avoiding out of fear. So whatever that step is, take it now. Because once you do, something powerful happens inside of you. Doubt shrinks, fear fades, and confidence grows. Not from thinking, but from movement. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about direction. You don't need to see all 6 months right now. You just need to own this moment. Stack enough courageous moments together and you'll wake up one day living a life that once felt impossible. That's how change happens. Quietly, gradually, one brave decision at a time. So stop overthinking, stop stalling, stop waiting. Action changes everything. The future you're dreaming of doesn't exist in some distant tomorrow. It starts here, today, with you. The most successful people are not the smartest, the strongest, or the most prepared. They're simply the ones who decided to start. So start, right now. Make today count. And your next 6 months will count too. Not because you hoped for it, but because you moved for it. 6 months from now you will arrive. The only question is where. Will you be standing taller, thinking clearer, living bolder, or will you still be stuck in the same loop, repeating the same habits, surrounded by the same noise? That answer depends entirely on what you do now. Because transformation doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. When you get clear on what you want, when you reshape your environment, when you honor the power of daily action, when you raise your standards, and when you move boldly and decisively, your life cannot stay the same. These 5 keys are not theories. They're principles of progress, forged by those who have dared to break through limitations and step into the life they truly deserve. You don't need to wait for the new year or the perfect Monday or some magical sign. All you need is a decision, one strong enough to ignite change, one consistent enough to sustain it. Because 6 months will pass regardless. But what you do between now and then, that will decide the story you will be telling. Will it be one of procrastination or progress? One of regret or rebirth? One of hesitation or evolution? The power is in your hands, and it starts not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Don't just imagine your future. Go out and build it. Because when you commit fully, act boldly, and demand the best from yourself, the next 6 months can become the greatest 6 months of your life. The clock is already ticking. Let's begin.